Meghan McCain seems to be completely delusional about the messaging from Fox News in response to the coronavirus vaccine and, quite honestly, the pandemic overall. So what am I talking about here? Let's listen to what McCain had to say and then we'll debunk it.
I was watching Fox and Friends this morning. Steve Doocy said, get the vaccine. Fox and Friends is like the mothership of MAGA media. And if someone like Steve Doocy is imploring people to get the vaccine, I think that's effective. And not everybody on Fox News is saying don't get the vaccine. I actually haven't heard anyone say that, but maybe I'm just misinformed.
You're misinformed. You're definitely misinformed. So look, there's one of two options here. Option number one, which is usually the side that I lean in, they're being bad faith actors and they're intentionally lying. Maybe I'm too pessimistic about people and maybe she is just misinformed. So let's go ahead and inform Meghan McCain about the reality of the situation. So over a 2-week period from June 28th through July 11th, Fox News aired 129 segments about coronavirus vaccines. Of those, more than half, 57%, included claims that either undermined or downplayed immunization efforts. 45% of segments included claims suggesting that the vaccination drive is coercive or that it represents government overreach. 37% of segments included claims suggesting that vaccines are unnecessary or dangerous. And by the way, let's just keep in mind that we're only talking about Fox News here, which among right-wing outlets that include Newsmax and OAN is not the worst, right? The other outlets are actually worse than Fox News is on this issue. Fox and Friends, including its early morning and weekend iterations, aired the most vaccine segments during this period, with more than half, 52%, featuring claims undermining or downplaying vaccines. All of Fox's weekday evening opinion shows with vaccine segments, Fox News, Primetime, Tucker Carlson Tonight, Hannity, and the Ingram Angle, included claims undermining or downplaying coronavirus vaccines in those segments. I mean, there's more data that just counters what Meghan McCain said there. But I say this, and I think I find this story important to cover because now it's very clear that Fox News hosts have been vaccinated, even as they're pushing anti-vaccine, disinformation campaigns. And the reason why I think they're changing their tone a little bit is because look what's happening in California. Because of people who have not gotten vaccinated, the Delta variant is spreading rapidly among unvaccinated people. The cases of new coronavirus patients has gone up. And so California has decided to, Los Angeles County has decided to re-implement mask mandates for indoors. And so people who have been vaccinated already feel like they're being punished. So all of a sudden you hear some right wingers like saying things like get vaccinated because they're worried about more shutdowns. They're worried about having to wear masks again themselves. And whenever it has something to do with them, whenever it impacts them personally, that's when all of a sudden it's like, maybe we should get the right information out there and get people vaccinated. So that's what she was referring to with Steve Doocy, which we'll get to in just a second. But Woz, I wanted to get your thoughts.
Yeah, you talk about zero credibility, you gotta be talking about Meghan McCain. She's clearly a clown. That just goes without saying. And to pretend that Fox News hasn't been part of the disinformation campaign and sort of propaganda to get people to be a lot against a freaking vaccine is ridiculous. But like you said, Anna, which is important that people understand, Fox News is like the most sane in that world of right-wing media. What you mentioned stuff like Newsmax and OAN, and then of course there's talk radio, where of course, rest in power, Rush Limbaugh, but there's a bunch of his acolytes in that industry, in the radio industry, doing this very thing all day, every single day. So even if you want to pretend that Fox News has been part of the solution and not the problem, it doesn't matter. On hate radio, that's all they're pushing all the time.
No, you're absolutely right. Because for them, it's just content to engage in that allows them to differentiate themselves from the libs, right? Everything is about owning the libs. That's how these content creators, whether it be on radio or television, that's how all these right-wing hosts make a name for themselves. And then when they have to face the consequences of the disinformation that they've put out there, all of a sudden they change their tune a little bit.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.